welcome back to Otak'Oclock. Today we're going to be talking about hipster anime.
By which we mean things that not only have most people not seen, only one of us on this show has actually seen. So, these are real obscure or real old or both.
The qualification specifically was that we each picked an anime that neither of the other two had seen. And if either of us have seen it,
then it got crossed out.
Mm-hmm.
Though some of them are going to be sort of subjugated to the watch parties because I want to see these two's reaction to half of my stuff. So
something about bears and lesbians. I don't know. We'll see.
Wait for that one. Anyway, so today is Brennan's choice, and he's going to be talking about the thing he always talks about, which is harem fighting school anime.
I'm sorry. It's a guilty pleasure of mine. I apologize sincerely for how much of a trash person I am.
You just need to do like the Alcoholics Anonymous opening. Like, I'm Brennan and I like fighting school anime.
My name is Brennan and I enjoy harem battle school anime.
Hi, Brennan.
Hi, Brennan. Please tell us your favorite.
But today I'm going to be talking about, in my opinion, the best of the high school battle animes. One that, other than My Hero Academia. Because My Hero Academia is not a harem battle, but it is a battle school anime.
But that's a different genre.
As opposed to harem battle school anime. It's battle school anime.
Well, okay, but like none of the characters have shown their tits yet, so you know what? Until they do.
Dude, Invisible Girl
is
literally all the time.
That doesn't count!
Anyway.
At all!
That's the joke! That's the joke. But
anyway.
No, this anime takes the trope, plays it straight, and then decides, you know what, I'm actually going to have actual A, plot progression, B, relationship progression, and C, actual struggle in a battle high school anime.
Wait,
so
things actually happen?
all the things that people...
Wait, isn't getting laid a struggle? And isn't that sort of the point of all of them?
Yes! But this one actually has progressions in a relationship as well as in the actual battle.
As well as getting laid.
Also, it has a tournament arc, so...
Does anyone get
Tournament arc! Exactly. And so,
you didn't
basically,
answer question.
It's implied.
Good enough.
It's fade to black, basically.
Good enough.
Does the train go through a tunnel?
Is someone shown sensually licking the stamen of a lily?
No. Okay, no. It's not
this
that
is gonna
bad.
be later.
But basically, the title is Rakudai Kishi no Eiyutan. In English, it's Chivalry of a Failed Knight. And
so a mouthful no matter what language.
The first thing you notice if you were to watch the show is that the opening is a freaking black, white, and red James Bond opening, basically. Where it's black and white, and the red is only representing blood. And people's eyes, but mostly blood, because it's a fighting anime, so their eyes represent the lust for blood. And so that's what hooked me. I give a lot of shows, 1 or 2 episodes at the beginning of the season, and that opening is what caught me, because I was like, man, the song's good, the art style of this opening's really sweet, I'm gonna try it. And then what I found out is that basically, it starts off, it establishes, quote-unquote, a harem, by which I mean it's a battle school and there's a whole bunch of girls and the characters are introduced. But what happens is the main character has a typical harem meeting with one of them, walks into them, right? But
grabs the boobs,
the point is, once that happens... And once he has his heart... I'm trying very hard, okay? I'm trying very hard.
I will stop being disruptive, I'm sorry.
But once that happens, once he comes into contact with most of these people, he very rapidly comes to a decision on which ones he likes as friends, which ones he does not like at all, and which one he actually wants to pursue a relationship with, and declares that and tells the other girls, yo, back off. I'm pursuing a relationship with this other person. And the other girls accept this.
This my bitch.
Which is the unusual part, because some harem animes do have the pursuing one specific person.
Yeah,
but it's not that common.
They have the obvious
It's not super common. But having the other girls actually recognize this and acknowledge this and not act like little shits of a human being is very unusual for a harem anime, in that they relinquish their
I see you're regarding towards women.
jealousy or claims towards
such a common
a person.
Wow.
No, I'm talking harem anime women, okay? harem anime women can be little shits.
I know.
And so are the main characters are always terrible.
Yeah.
Except in this one, which is why I like it.
School days.
And so that's like the big point of divergence, right? An actual relationship that the other characters acknowledge, and there is progression throughout the show as to how that relationship progresses. So that's a big thing. And another thing is, the main character does not get a super OP ability that nobody's ever heard of that lets him beat everybody with ease.
So he
and
can't
he
dual
doesn't
wield
win
swords?
through the power of friendship. He
But
wins
friendship
by
is
being
magic.
more willing to beat his body into a pulp than anyone else
So
is
he wins by
initially.
the power of
So-
boners.
So ReZero.
Basically, not quite, but basically, he
I will
has
beat my
a
body
really
until you
awful.
stop.
Everybody gets magical powers and a magical weapon. His power is objectively not that great. Basically, he can use all of his body's available energy in either normally or he can increase it levelly. But basically, this means if you use twice your body strength, for a while you're going to have half your strength afterwards because you've used your available energy or life mana power. But no, basically he gets like 3 seconds of this. And so basically he wins by playing Rocky and getting himself beat to a pulp while analyzing the other people's strategies and then using the rest of his life force, which I remind you, he has already been beaten to a pulp, to finish them off, and then collapses and in the hospital for the next 4 days, which is also something unusual. Usually you see like, oh, they're bleeding, their nose might be bleeding, their ears might be bleeding, but they walk away fine. Yeah, no, like, there aren't a ton of fights because
like this
every
show
time...
has a lot of filler.
No, there's not. There are practice fights, which he doesn't go as seriously on, and there's relationship and character progression, like I said. But the fights he takes seriously because it puts him in the hospital. And so, like,
So
that's a
there's
really
actually weight to
welcome
him.
thing. Yeah, there is weight to his decision on when to use powers or when to actually fight, when to try to negotiate your way out of something,
It
and when to
establishes
just take it.
consequences, which is important.
You can't just go out after every person that's mouthing at him because he can't.
When does he unlock his Bankai? Like, when does he get his, like, real powers?
He doesn't.
Oh, fuck.
He just learns how to use he just trains himself so that he has more natural body power to work with, which doesn't do that much for him, but it does something.
So actually, it kind of reminds me, as you're describing it, there's this one book written by a somewhat local author called Mistborn.
Oh, I love Mistborn.
Yeah,
okay?
The
local author, New York Times best-selling author Brandon Sanderson.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Who?
I'm
not being shit.
I will tell you after.
In Mistborn, one of the types of people can
store them. Yeah.
Store up their energy and then use it, but then it leaves them at half power for a while.
It's a little bit like that.
So they have blue ball power.
And so, for example, one of the ways he wins this one really tough fight.
It's accurate.
No.
As crass as it is, it's accurate.
No.
We're just gonna ignore him for the rest of the episode.
But like one of the ways he wins is normally he uses this thing in a couple short bursts throughout the battle if he needs to dodge. Of course, but at the end, like one of the ways he also does it is he will put like everything into a millisecond. And this messes him up really badly because while he does have some secondary superpower durability, as is common with magic powers, to be able to withstand the other, like the Flash is obviously super tough because he can run at the speed of sound, which would normally rip your cheeks off.
And actually,
oh dear Lord.
No, shut up! It's the Speed Force. It's a secondary power set. Included in the Speed Force, okay?
Technically, he just is immune to kinetic energy.
Yes, that's the requisite secondary power, okay? But he only has that up to a point, so he can't like be like, oh, I put a billion times life energy into a billionth of a second, and so I'm moving at the speed of light and invincible. Like that, he could do it, but that would also like kill him.
Yeah.
Because he has more durability than a normal person, but he can't run at the speed of sound. He can't jump 3 billion feet. And so
do you wish you could jump 3 billion feet?
I don't. I like my ankles. So
yeah.
No.
And so like while he has this ability to make things stronger, really it's the fact that he's learned that because his power sucks, he has to be smart about how he fights. And it's not like smart where, like in other animes, where it's a superpowered intelligence that lets you understand everything. You know?
He just has figured out how to mid-max.
As much as you will probably hate this reference, it almost kind of reminds me of what I found so likable about One Piece to begin with. Because the main character has literally the shittiest power.
Now, wait a minute.
He does. They address it right up front. They're like...
He is literally invincible. You can't kill him.
Yes, you can. You can cut him.
He's been cut by his sword and it, like, bounces off.
No, it doesn't.
Really?
Guns bounce off.
Yeah.
Because he can absorb it and shoot it back. Knives do not. He gets slices. A lot. He can get stabbed through the chest and he will die.
Really?
Yes.
I did not know that.
He has a shitty power. He can just stretch himself. It's his, like... It's him having to accept that and work with it.
Yeah, of course.
Then
it just got turned into endless film.
Oh, yeah, of course.
This show is only one season long. And...
It's still a good power.
No, it's not.
It is.
And so the best part is the show ends with like a major character progression, which is unheard of in normal one-season light novel adaptations. You know that they always end on a cliffhanger because they're fishing for more money. They're fishing for another season. They're fishing for merchandise. They're fishing for more money. And this show decided instead that it was going to run with a plot conclusion at the end of the first arc, which was the end of the first season.
Every stories have a beginning, middle, and end. If they don't, they're not technically a story.
And that's what makes so many other Battle School enemies bad, is because they're fishing for that second season, but they're not good enough to warrant that second season. So it just ends up in a half-cut-off cliffhanger that never gets resolved.
This is something that he cares very strongly about, because this is all he watches.
I care very strongly about people who make crappy shows expecting money and fishing for money and
that's
then
why I
don't
hate the
get
Big
it.
Bang Theory.
I mean, fair.
So, yeah, I have a whole rant about another.
Bad.
I have a whole rant about another show like this that did not turn out for its potential. Unlike this one, which turned out no. I'll tell you about it. No, I'll tell you about it. I'll tell you about it later. But we're running on 15 minutes. I gotta finish up. I'll tell you about it later, okay?
SpongeBob?
Danny Phantom?
I like Danny Phantom, but no, that's not it.
We infuriate him a lot, is basically what this episode boils down to.
So basically, if you want something that plays a done-to-death anime genre straight.
Isekai. Sorry.
Not that one, but if you want something that plays the harem battle anime tropes, but does it seriously and does it straight and does it well with an actual sense of what it means to be a story instead of a merchandising factory, I would I would recommend Chivalry of a Failed Knight. All right.
Ignore him.
My pitch is done. Feel free to say something irrelevant now.
So basically what this all boils down to is it's a good show that you should definitely check out. Do you know where a good place to find it would be?
I'm fairly certain it is on Crunchyroll.
Like everything else.
I believe Netflix had it. I don't know if they have it anymore. They might have only had it for the season. And
I don't think they have
rights
it anymore.
To it. But
Pirate Bay also has it for sure.
Shush.
What? It does.
We do not advocate illegal piracy of anime on this show.
But if I did advocate illegal piracy, watch out for fake links. They're very common. They can get you viruses. And also, don't see too much because
this is why you just buy Crunchyroll, Sam.
No, this is...
Well, okay, so but see, the problem is one that I wanted to talk about, Le Portrait de Petit Cosette, is not on anything.
Yes, I know. I tried to find you the DVD and I could not find it.
It doesn't exist. You can get it off of like eBay for a couple $100.
That's what we're going to be talking about in a future episode. She has lots of really obscure anime that she wants to talk about. So that's it. That's as much as I have. Any more, and I'm just going to start spoiling major elements of the plot, and then it won't be a good show anymore.
And then we'll just have Sam BSing over Brennan, and it's just going to be more laughing.
Yeah, so
it'll be great.
Yeah, we're going to end it there. See you guys next time.
And check out the anime on Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
Or Pirate Bay.
Sam.
See you next time.